Omni X-Men is back. It is Tuesday. Took a week off, but now I'm back here with Justin of KnowGood Comics. How's it going, man?
What is up, John? What's up, everybody in the chat? Appreciate you guys coming out. Back for another Tuesday. I know we took off last week, but we are finally back here. I'm excited.
Absolutely. And we are joined again by Brandon from the ComixKings. Brandon, how's it going?
I'm good. How are you guys doing? Thank you for having me yet again. Guess you guys like to a bit.
I put the link to Brandon's channel down below, and you can find him supremely easily on IG as well. Just searching Comics with an X Kings, and you're going to find Brandon's IG as well, because he does a ton of content on both IG and now in YouTube.
He's everywhere. The man's everywhere.
YouTube, transferring over. It's exciting. And
except for this horrible debacle of talking about giant size X-Men, you've been doing some great stuff on YouTube.
My friend. Well, who was doing all that on Giants, and I love it. If y'all watch video, I gave it nothing but praise. Obviously, like 9 out of 10 people you're gonna see talking about Giants of X-Men are gonna love it. It is I wanted to get that 1% on there. It's for good content. I wanted it to be a different giant size X-Men show, not so much your typical, oh my gosh, this is the best thing ever. Because every book has their flaws. Every book, like, you're not gonna read a book that's 100% perfect.
We talked before going live that we were like, before you came into the stream, Justin and I, we have to give him a little grief for the but like, honestly, I have a show. Most of my shows are spent like crapping on things or complaining and really breaking things down to nitty gritty and taking them apart. So I totally get it. Yeah, we just wanted to play a little fun with you.
I was cringing. I was cringing a little bit.
I'm gonna blame it on my co-host.
That's fine. You were fine, Brandon. You were fine. You did great. And shout out to Chet and shout out to Lasso, because you guys held it down in the chat. You guys were at least standing your ground and trying to point out what Ryan was saying or lack thereof, because I feel like he didn't really get his point across throughout the whole thing. But shout out to you guys for hanging in there. And Brandon, you defended it well. You defended it well.
We're doing a DC key next week for Ryan. That's more his alley.
There you go.
And kind of my alley too. But it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. It's a good show. Definitely check it out.
Really good. You guys are doing some great commentary. I really appreciate it.
Definitely.
So let's say hello to the people in the chat and then dive into today's X-Men book, which is going to be issue 114 of the officially Uncanny X-Men. We got PJ King in the chat. Hello, PJ. And Todd Christian is here. Hello. The Southern Comic Geek is here. How you doing?
Jason.
Hello, Kelly Harmon. Good to see you.
Hey, shout out to Kelly. We've been talking X-Men. She's a big X-Men fan. I told her about the show. So it's our first time checking it out. So, Kelly, I appreciate you swinging by.
Awesome. Thanks for coming by. We got Beta Ray Jim. This is the way. Uncanny X-Men Talk. Magic Lasso says, yeah, we skipped last week. Where is it? He says, there it is. Yeah. Skipped last week because of respect for Mary Wilson's passing. I was like, I don't think that's why we did it. But, okay. I'll accept that. Jackson Roy Kirk says, it's been 1 week since we've been together. Oh, wait. Feels like it's been more than 1. It has been. AGH, good to see you. Can't stay long. Wanted to say this is definitely one of his top 10 favorite covers of all time. It is a beauty.
Yep.
It is a beauty. Chet says he's got this in a 9.6 with Stan and Chris Silver Ink signatures. Oh, hey, guys.
Fancy.
Oh, you're going to say hey after.
Joe Ryan, my man. It's good to see you, Joe. I hope things are going well, man. Hope the music's going well. Hey, Joe, I got my Yeti Blue here for you. Thanks for the all. He helped me figure out which microphone I was going to buy. So huge thanks to Joe for that.
Nice.
And I think that is it. Did we say hello to everybody? I think we got everybody. But we lost Justin. Justin.
I'm right here.
Justin's out. He's not.
I'll just get my charger. Some technical difficulties.
So yeah, we're talking about issue 114 of the Uncanny X-Men run, working our way through our omnis. As a reminder, for those of you that have been watching the show for the first time, maybe we do a giveaway. We're planning an epic kind of giveaway as we get near the end of this omnibus. Justin has purchased Omnibus Volume 2, and he's going to give that away.
This could be yours.
I'm also putting together an X-Men giveaway mystery box. So we're going to have 2 items to give away and possibly third because Chet keeps threatening us with some flab giveaway stuff going on. So.
Yeah, he also says I'm a kid in his seat. This kid has more facial hair than the Chetster, so.
Respect. So stick around to the end. We usually do trivia based on last week's issue that we read and the show that we put on for last time. So you got to go back 2 weeks for it, but we're going to be asking some questions about issue 113. So be prepared for that at the end of the show. Let's kick it off with issue 114, a little bit of a how do you feel about this issue? Can you score it? Justin, what are your thoughts on issue 114?
So there were some things in this book that I really enjoyed about it that is going to have me rate this at about it's 8.5, 9. I really enjoyed it. One of the things that stood out to me the most was we get to see the Savage Lands. And for me, that was the first time, my first experience with the Savage Land. So going into that kind of new world was really cool. And then, of course, just the idea that they survived to begin with is great in its own way. And then, we get into some other things, and I know we'll get into the panels, but ultimately, I'm going to throw it up there as like a good 8.5. The artwork is tremendous. Love the artwork, as you guys know. So I'm going to leave it around 8.5.
And what about you, Brandon? What were your thoughts on this issue 114?
Well, I'm a writer myself, so I really like dialogue between characters and having that drive the story. This was 100% perfect in that way, so I'm going to give it a 9.2, 9.4 area, just because of how underrated this dialogue is and how underappreciated the power of dialogue can have in your story. So that's the sole reason why. Not only that, John Byrne is a pretty good artist, but we're putting that in the 9.2.
He does well, right? He does well.
Better than a lamer frame, but that's a different show.
Don't talk. You're talking to a champ over here.
Yeah, man.
Don't flex against the champ.
Yo, I got my papers somewhere.
Yeah, me too. Mine's an eBay bid. Anyone take it?
That's going to be part of John's mystery box. Is some of my drawings.
There you go. Let's just throw it all in.
Yeah, John, what's your shipping address? It's up there with all the Green Lanterns.
We share a love for Green Lantern, absolutely. I would say I'm going to probably split you guys, be right somewhere in the middle. I'd give this one a 9, which is a pretty high score for me. I think overall, I really loved, like Brandon saying, the artwork obviously top notch. I really do love certain character moments in this that are ones that I legitimately remember reading the classic X-Men issues that covered this and being like, oh, this is the coolest thing ever. Wolverine gets a ton to do, and I'm a Wolverine fan, especially as a kid. I was super into that character, and he gets a ton to do. Storm obviously shines wonderfully in this issue, and then the just the look of the Savage Lands. It's all really, really well plotted out. So I am totally in agreement with you guys.
Spot on.
We're gonna jump into our slideshow and go through some of the panels and break it all down. So first up, we got this cover. Brandon, what are your thoughts on this cover? I know the chat was saying right off the bat, loving this cover.
I like this cover. It's again, it's a top-notch John Byrne cover. You can't really do much better. I like better Byrne covers. I like more Byrne covers than this. It's right in the middle for me. It doesn't necessarily stand out, but it doesn't exactly hinder me from the story. It's just like, this is what it is. This is what we're going to be expecting. But obviously we know they didn't die. They're just somewhere else.
Right.
It's a good
cover, nothing spectacular to me though.
What about you, Justin?
Yeah, so I like that to me it's an emotional cover, right? It hits home to where you really can see where the three here, Beast, Jean, and Professor X, are really mourning, and they, for what they think, the rest of the team are ghosts at this point, that they're all dead. So I do think it's iconic in a way. Just because I feel like I've seen this cover even before I started reading X-Men, even before I got into X-Men, and I just recognize that cover. So anybody who knows anything about it, or I don't know, it just illustrates the story so well. At least prepping you as to what you're getting into and kind of how the characters feel.
Totally. And I agree completely. I think I love the art. The look of it is just amazing. But I think with Brandon, I'm with Brandon on agreeing that, like, because it's kind of a sucker punch, like it's not real, nobody didn't really die. It doesn't fit the issue as well as I would love. And also this moment is like one page out of this really interesting issue, and they decided to make this panel out of this kind of like almost like a subplot. It's not really even the main story.
Beast and Jean really were not as heavily focused as the main team, you know. And I also don't like how Colossus kind of looks like Kang in it. Like, I don't know. I'm the one who was thinking that. I'm like, he looks like Kang, but
a little bit.
That's the color.
Right. All right. Well, so let's get into this issue. We left off with two mutants surviving the volcano meltdown of Magneto's lair, and that was Beast and Jean, or Phoenix, and they're just struggling their way through the frozen Antarctic here. Love this panel. Love this splash page.
It's a great shot, and definitely, especially how the winds are just in the background. You can essentially feel how what Beast is going through right there.
Dude got some arm strength. That's all I got to say to that.
And I love the way the snow is like frosting them. And the way they do the wind lines behind them, and you can even see the stars in the sky. Like, yeah, it's a great jump right back into the story where we left off moment.
Yep.
100%.
Then we get to jump into a sequence that Brandon mentioned he really wanted to highlight, which is this Jean sort of being awoken by Beast to coming into full Phoenix Force mode.
Right. Like, this is one of the first times we've seen her like completely just wake up pure Phoenix mode. So it's like, just that is just beautiful in and of itself. Not only that, is like the interaction between Beast and Jean we don't really see. So like I was saying, just like the dialogue leading up to that, to her waking up, just saying Scott. And as you guys know, I'm not a big Scott Summers fan. I like Jean Grey. But her and Scott are a decent couple. She cares a lot for him. It's like you really saw that in this panel, and exactly that's what motivated her to wake up. Was not really the X-Men, but her attachment to Scott. Kind of like how in Kraven's Last Hunt, Peter was awoken by Mary Jane. You know, going back to her. So that's kind of what I compared it to.
Totally.
Yeah. I was gonna say the last time that we remember really getting a glimpse of her just waking up as Phoenix and reacting is when she snaps out of Mesmero's hypnotic spell and almost completely kills Wolverine when she throws him across the stage there or whatever. So that was kind of the last time we saw that. So this was super powerful, and I like how Beast is just like, whoa! I just wanted some light fireworks here. You don't gotta set the whole thing on fire.
In the middle of the Arctic.
Overachiever, come on.
Yeah, at least he didn't have to slap her like Logan did.
Yeah, right.
I love how like the heat of the Phoenix Force just melting the snow right off of Beast and basically like clearing the area around them almost.
Right, 100%.
And then we jump to Phoenix Force unloading and the helicopter that's a rescue helicopter finding them because of her explosive powers. And you mentioned dialogue. I love this bit here, Brandon, where it's Beast trying to calm her and trying to convince her that they are dead. Although he's totally wrong. He should listen to Jean, who has all the psychic powers to know that there might be still alive. Right.
And Hank has always been more of a guy based off logic, so it took his character 100% to not believe like the unbelievable. Totally. Obviously, it's going to take him years and years, even to this day. Even if we see him in Krakoa, kind of just being stupid Beast, but or kind of
I love like the tears on her face. Her facial expressions are so strong, and you can sense the time that how long they've known each other. You can just sense all of that in this nice little back and forth.
Yep, 100%. Tears probably the best part of that page.
Repairing her costume, right? Like all this, like her Phoenix Force can just do all these things. Sadly, as we'll see later, the other guys don't have that power.
Nope.
Shirtless Scott is something I did not want to see in this issue.
we all could have done without it. His Corsair transformation. Turns out though they're not dead. That Beast is absolutely wrong, and we get these panels of the team, thanks to Colossus just pounding a hole in this volcanic rock. He pounds his way out to freedom, and they are all surviving on the other side.
I love that shot of them like on the right side there. all of them just kind of crawling out.
Just reach, Colossus with the suit, everybody's clothes all torn and shattered and climbing their way out. I was unable to figure out a way to frame it, but I loved the fact that in that center shot of Cyclops' head, he's like coming up and out of the panels again. I love it. Yep. And Byrne has been doing that a lot in these last few issues. I've been really enjoying those moments when the panels bleed a little bit into each other. I've been digging that.
Totally.
Right. And Byrne kind of just has that style that makes him pop out of the page, giving that effect. I really like Scott's visor. I don't like, this is like the only part of his costume I like is his visor. Byrne just draws it so crisp, so sharp, And then you got to acknowledge Banshee's little tidbit. Scott, if this is Antarctica, Banshee has a lot of good tidbits in this, and other than the fact that he gets beat up again as he's done this whole series, he's like the Hawkeye of the Avengers. You need someone to pick on, Banshee. I just give him a good story. Come on.
Poor Banshee. Takes the beating.
No more. He just saying him. No more. Pick on someone else.
Some Byrne eye poppers. I totally agree. And that like Justin said, that Colossus panel, AGH saying it too. He's climbing out of the rocks. Great drawing.
So good.
Banshee's like, why do I look like Arcade? Ever since that Carnival Barker moment, you haven't been able to get over it. And then the reveal of where they are in the Savage Land, like I loved these were almost some of my favorite panels. These views of what is the Savage Land. I just love this stuff.
I almost sent you this, John, as one of my favorites. It really is cool, just how they captivated everything. And again, for someone who I've never explored this up until when I first started reading this, Savage Lands I've never explored. And I like this style of like dinosaurs and all this past stuff. So I thought it was really cool.
100%. You guys hit it on the nail. This is a beautiful layout, And
then I love, Banshee gets his little moment, as Chet is mentioning here, to kind of say, hey, I think Storm is dealing with her claustrophobia, being stuck in that mountain. Like she might need a little stretch of the wings here and take a little flight, so we can cheer her up by taking a little flight. He reads her really well, and the two of them decide to go. I guess explore a little bit, scout ahead somewhat.
The power of the flight.
Right.
That's all it is.
And their nice, joyful flight doesn't last long.
That guy did again.
Yeah. It was like 2 panels. Like we got 2 panels of, hey, this is flying, it's so nice. And then it's like, no, it's death. It's death. Like you die. It's not good.
It's Savage Land for a reason.
Right.
This whole series is always like, oh, we go on vacation. Oh, we're about to die. Oh, we're back on vacation. Oh, we're about to die again. Like it's just like, you only get 2 panels worth of nice stuff.
Yeah. It's all play or death. There's there's no middle ground.
Banshee's on his 10th life.
Absolutely. And then Justin wanted to highlight the fastball special that Wolverine asks for. You can't even see his legs. Colossus throws him so hard. He looks like Nova or something. He's just blasting off.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, I'll always highlight a fastball special when I can. It was that just the look of those two, as you can see, like, all right, they're essentially like putting it together what they need to do. And then just the way Wolverine's going at it, I always love that. And I know on the next, I think on the next slide, the kind of aftermath of everything was the other half of that, where Wolverine has some good moments here, some really good moments.
Yeah, he does look like Cannonball, right? Where you can't see the like. Rob Liefeld didn't want to draw the legs and the feet, so he just drew fire and then drew the top half of the guy.
Can Rob Liefeld draw feet without ripping off Todd McFarlane or anyone else?
Yeah. Colossus's top speed on a fastball special with Wolverine is 212 miles an hour. Holy crap!
Chet, you play baseball. Do better.
Damn, 212.
212. That's very exact math. I don't know where you're getting your information. But this leads to my all-time favorite panel in Wolverine history. I think is him just both arms going up and just completely digging into the sides of this beast.
Yeah.
I freaking love these pieces here, just absolutely nuts.
Yep.
And I dig it. He's like being thrown 200 miles an hour or whatever up into the air to fight a dragon, and he's like, "Let's do this. I don't care. I can't fly. Who cares?"
After being stuck with Magneto, he's like, "I need something that won't reach out and just hold me there."
Absolutely.
I mean, I love that Wolverine doesn't have any sort of plan or consideration for how he'd get down. Like if he's being tossed up so high, he's just like, I'm going to do this and I'm going to win. Like that's just it. Like that's his mentality, you know, and he just goes after it.
Right. This is 100% Byrne making people fall in love with Wolverine.
Yeah.
Deservedly.
More so than Cockrum, because Cockrum was a Nightcrawler guy.
Right. Oh, Kelly, I'm with you 100%. Absolutely. Hey, Zen Multiverse is here. Thanks for coming by, Zen.
My man Zen, I've been telling him to swing by. He was we were talking like 2 weeks ago, and I was like, I told him all about the show, and then I'm like, oh wait, we're taking a break this Tuesday. So never mind. I'm like, we'll come back next Tuesday. He's like,
it's really, really good. You just can't have this right
yeah. He's a big
good news then is as we get deeper into this run, you can go back through the playlist I've been making on my channel, and you can, if you've bought an issue recently and you want to know what it's all about, or if you want to read an issue and you're not sure what are the key elements, you can click on the playlist, find the issue you're reading, and dive right in.
Yep.
So, yeah, Wolverine kicks the daylights out of this thing, and then it falls into the jungle somewhere, and our heroes are like, now Cyclops is ready to make leadership decisions, and they go rushing off to go find him, the remaining team members, and somebody is lurking in the jungle, who recognizes Cyclops and recognizes the X-Men, this mysterious individual.
A nice little cameo, but I love how in the previous pages Cyclops just isn't doing anything, and I'll debate this with anybody. Cyclops is not all that. He's not a great leader, and he's too emotionally attached. I think he's so distraught about Jean and where she is and her well-being. He just has no idea what he's doing right now. He's just freezing up, and that's not like Cyclops, but because he's so emotional, it completely fits, why he's freezing.
Sharon from Life with Two YouTubers is here. I'm going to be hanging out with her on JP's channel on Thursday night, so nice. Good to see you, Sharon. I would argue that he is not supremely emotional most of the time. It's just in a few key moments like this one, he's clearly in a state of trauma and just not able to manage. And I understandably, there's no reason he should be able to manage. Storm should be the one taking over, but obviously she's still feeling too green to, I think at any other time in the current run, maybe Storm would just take over and say, you know what, I'll take over. You don't need to worry about leadership right now. Just process what you're going through.
Right. Yeah.
It is a very polite way to say Cyclops is lame. And I think Chet is with me on the blasphemy here.
Chet and I have debated this probably for an ongoing since we started watching this show. So this is like a nightly argument.
Hey, I understand because he's not the Cyclops fans love him and everybody else doesn't. It's just the way of the world.
I like him in parts. I don't like him overtaking an issue or completely being a nuisance to the book. I like him in small dosage. In Hickman, I'm enjoying him a lot more. He's a very limited role, but he's still pushing the story forward. He's not necessarily hindering it.
And I would argue that is true of pretty much everybody on the team. I am not a Wolverine fan when he's all on his own. I like him as part of a team. And the way I think this book works so well is that people like Byrne and people like Claremont can give everybody their moments and not make the book drag because it's just focusing on this one individual.
Right. We're even going to see this in this book going forward. That really stands out. That's why I loved it so much. It wasn't so heavily focused on a trio of Jean Scott and Wolverine, or so heavily on what's going on with Nightcrawler or Storm. This is where they're like a team trying to get out of this place.
Yep.
Jennifer, thank you for coming by. Good to see you. And it looks like Zen's with me on the goat, and PJ saying the same thing. Cyclops not lame. All right, let's jump along here to another of Justin's favorites with Logan sitting pretty.
This was so great. This is everything for capturing what Wolverine's beast mode is. His ferocious animal side of things, where he's just and it's the aftermath, so he's just sitting there yep, and they're man, looks like that guy didn't even have stand a chance. He's nope. He's like, I can get used to this place around here. Like, he's just like comfortable. He's at home. You know, this is like how he operates. And the fact that he could let loose, you know, like if you think about all the other times, we never really got to see kind of what you pointed out, John, your favorite panel. You never get to see him really slash through something living like that. Not like that, you know. He always like seems to miss Magneto or just, you know, just cut his clothes or something like that. But, you know, here he really gets into it. So,
well, and I think my favorite Wolverine moments balance that kind of stuff really well. Like in the second X-Men film, they finally give him that chance when they invade the mansion, and you get to see him berserk a little bit and lay into guys, and it's like, yes, that balance is what makes Wolverine, I think, a compelling character.
Definitely.
Right. I like the panel where they're arguing, where Cyclops and Wolverine are arguing, and
because why not, right? Because it's always the two of them,
right? Because they're two different styles. Obviously, this is where Wolverine's more knowledgeable because his instincts are kicking in. Back with humanity, obviously, Cyclops' instincts are going to kick in a little bit more when dealing with humans. That's more of his expertise. But I love what Banshee just says, can y'all just stop arguing how he saved my life?
Yeah. It is great how it gets interrupted by Banshee like that.
He just finds a way to destroy them both in one.
What's up, Biggie Shaq? Thanks for coming, man.
Biggie.
Yeah, I mean, I think these two, of course, have to lay into it. Both of them dealing with Jean being gone in their own ways and just having an easy target in one another to lay into.
Ben's just happy for the little things. I'm alive.
Yeah, I didn't just die because that giant pterodactyl did just eat me. So I'm happy now. And yeah, Wolverine's clothes are just like everybody else's. They're starting to fray a little bit here. But we're gonna take a little break meanwhile and go to the only section dealing with Jean after the trauma of the Antarctic. It looks still like Xavier's doing a little vacay. He's still on vacay mode a little bit. But we get to see Jean and Xavier have a bit of a quiet moment.
Yep. I love that panel of Jean.
The last one.
The just the drawing there in the bottom center. The two drawings of Jean.
With her facial expression, looking all concerned.
Just beautiful drawings. Yeah.
Right. And I honestly think like Byrne's depiction of Jean there is way ahead of its time. Where you go back to like Kirby and early like Silver Age artists, they never really mastered like that facial expressions that really told the story, right? That's why like you'd be like they're all worried, but their face is like with a happy face. Obviously, it's an exaggeration, but Byrne was really like a master of depicting body language in comics.
Yeah, totally. And of course, that last panel where you get to see them basically reenacting moments of the cover a little bit. But that's about all we get as far as the relationship between the cover and the actual interior of the story. So it is what it is. Hidden Gems, what is up?
What's up, Jim?
Let's see here.
Wolf, too. Thought I saw
Old Wolf in there, too. Sorry, Old Wolf. Did I miss you, Tony? There you are, man. What is up?
Don't worry, Wolf. I got you, bro.
They were just over on Lamer Frame.
Yes.
Oh, so the Lamer Frame crew let out. There it is. School's out.
So who won? Okay.
I didn't catch.
So we jump over to apparently we found an entire village to hang out with and communicate with, and Banshee found some Mohawk hottie to get around with. Look at he's coming out of her tent all happy and loving the day,
hitting the pipe.
I don't know what he was hitting, but he was hitting something in there. And everybody's going through a change of costume, whether it's Cyclops he's gonna keep the leggings and the funny pirate boots, but go with the whole bandana mode here that Brandon's a big fan of. I am a very big fan of Storm's wardrobe decisions here. I think she's making some quality decisions overall.
Oh yeah, 100%. The less on Storm, the better. Can't say the same about the rest of the team except for Storm.
I love Banshee's face there too when it like kind of just shows him look up and he's like, oh.
Ooh, he's like, I'm like the 2 for 2 today.
Right, exactly. Banshee's like, man. Yeah. Oh yeah. Ooh, good call, Lasso. Maybe she saw the Mohawk and was like, hey, maybe I want to try that Mohawk on a little later.
There you go.
Yeah, 90 Storm hits different, I guess.
Right?
John Romita's Storm.
I'm all about it.
No.
So they're all kind of settling in a little bit and getting comfortable and enjoying this this reprieve, even though we never really get to hear anything from these natives. Like, there's really just like Cyclops pointing. I don't know if they speak English or what, but we've definitely we're communicating.
Right.
Yeah, it's a good point.
I think I read somewhere that this is like, doesn't Banshee get that lady pregnant? That I think I read that somewhere. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I don't know, but I would not be surprised.
Wait, he's smiling. No, I wouldn't either.
Right? He's rolling out of that tent looking happy.
Today's a good day.
Right? Cyclops, on the other hand, has decided that he's going to change his appearance by going for the mustache look. Really, really a bad call, brother. Just really, really just lay off that. He's got a knife, apparently. I don't know where he got it, but he's going to shave with it because that's his priority. And while he's shaving, I really don't get this sequence for me. Like, he's psychic now. Like all of a sudden he has these revelations about his family history. Somebody needs to explain. This is the worst part of the issue for me. These panels. I love the art. The mustache decision and the Corsair realization just not working for me.
I just felt like it was very random for them to place that whole like thought process here. I mean, I know all that stuff happened, you know, a couple issues ago, or I mean, what, 4, 5, 6 issues ago. But I don't know, for him to just kind of reminisce here and start to think about this stuff, it felt a little random.
Yeah.
Right. I didn't really get the sequence so much. I kind of felt like, okay, we have to put this in here. We have to lead up to it. So let's just throw it in wherever it makes the most sense, even though where the story was going, it didn't at all. You know, I don't know about you guys, but when I'm shaving, I don't think about stuff. I just shave.
You're concentrating on the blade that you're holding in your hand.
Yeah, I'm like trying not to cut myself. If I get distracted, then there could be my upper lip. You know, see you later. But
well, and I gotta wonder, like, how many times has he shaved with a knife before? I would be extra focused with a knife.
Right, that's not really time to think about.
It's very true.
Anything related to Corsair.
Yeah, I don't know where he keeps these glasses, Jackson Royker. I have no clue. He clearly has them on him somewhere in his boots. Those little, you know, the boots have those big flaps. He just tucks it up under one of those flaps, maybe.
And they didn't break during like the whole process after Magneto.
All good. All good. Brandon Colossus has a son with one of the Savage Land ladies named Nirele. That
must have been it. I thought it was
Colossus.
But thanks to the X-Men guru.
I believe they were influenced by JFK and all the Kennedys, for that matter, going with the womanizing Banshee. There you go.
Whatever works.
Yeah, exactly. So besides having this little revelation, Storm comes over and invites him to go for a swim or to relieve his stress a little bit. Of course, he's not having either one. And he reveals the very odd fact that he is already mourned for Hank and has no plans to mourn for Jean, because he says, after the shuttle flight, nothing had changed between us, yet everything had. She wasn't the girl I loved anymore.
Then why has he been flipping out for the past 13 issues?
Yeah.
That seems like a very out of character statement there.
Yeah, I mean, unless this ties back into, I don't know, his random like flashbacks that he's just currently having, and he's, that really doesn't make any sense. I can't even make any sense of it.
So that sequence definitely doesn't sit well for me, but I think they were trying to like push the love triangle thing a little further by allowing a little bit of a rift between Scott and Jean and a space where Wolverine might be able to come in.
The mustache. Once he puts the shades on, he's a whole new dude. Because when he had the visor, he was tripping over Jean like there's no tomorrow. I guess like my take on this is he's like trying to focus on what's important right now is getting out of the Savage Land. This isn't a territory he's not familiar with. So if he's trying to alienate that side of Jean so he doesn't have to think about it, but he kind of is. It's a very messed up way of trying to detach yourself from someone you're attached to, if I'm making any sense.
No, it totally does.
But,
There's definitely a side of me that read that and said he's lying to himself. Clearly, like he's trying not to deal with it.
oh, 100%. That's like me saying I don't miss my ex. But
Totally. Rinkin is here, and of course, mi hermano de Cuba. How's it going? Puerto Rico. How you doing, Rod? Good to see you. Hope the lame or frame went well tonight, my man. Who's this young bucks, right? The young buck is here.
I got a birthday coming up, Rod.
There you go.
Yeah, if I'd made some mistakes in high school, you could have been my kid. That's where we're at. That's how old Mr. John is here. I'm just saying. My wife's laughing. She's like, maybe you did. That math holds up. I'm saying right now. She's like, no, that mistake would have happened in college, John.
Yeah, imagine yourself living with a 20-year-old right now. No.
I have a teenager. That's about as far as I want to imagine anything. So the other bit of this is Storm trying to find people to hang out with and noticing all the gentlemen seem to be thinking about ladies or denying that they're thinking about ladies. Colossus already has some topless lady that he's walking off with. He's like,
that's the one that Chet was talking about.
Yeah. So he's got her. He's taken off. He's taken off with her. Logan is like, no, I don't need to. I'm not interested in this. He's still thinking about Jean. His thoughts are all on Jean. So he's like, no, I'm gonna pass on the local honeys. And of course you have a great booty shot Storm where she's like, nope, I guess I'll go swim by myself. Nobody's interested in hanging out with me.
What about Storm? They're all making the one mistake. They're not thinking
right?
Big mistake. Opportunities missed.
Mistakes that you enjoy. There you go.
Maybe they just like the view, you know?
Right. There you go. So then we jump to see a little bit of Wolverine calling women frails
again.
Which it makes me laugh, and at the same time I'm like, when was this ever a term? Like, yeah. I don't know where Claremont dug this term up, because I've never, in all the books I've read or movies I've seen from all different eras, I've never heard women called frails before. But Logan does this like constantly.
Yeah, it's pretty consistent with him in these earlier issues here.
It's hilarious.
It's a Claremont thing.
There it is. Jackson Roy Kirk, nice frails, but I want to sew my suit, which is almost literally what he says. Right? He says the kid means well, and those are fine looking frails, but I got no use for company right now. Babe, you were the first person I ever really cared for, until later when Frank Miller tells us there was an Asian girl, but we won't worry about that.
I feel like that's something John LaRusso would say in Karate Kid or Cobra Kai, you know?
Right? Oh, absolutely.
Yep.
And I never even told you my real name. Hilarious. Plus, I had plans for us, Jeannie. Now I got a heartache inside that's killing me. Like someone cut out my heart.
Right. Plans. He's got plans. Like, I feel like this is only the third or maybe the fourth time that they've really shown him that interested, right?
Yeah.
No, and then you got.
I like it. It's great. I like it. Yeah. So he's admitting like you're the first person I ever really loved, and in my head I'm like, wait a second, we know that he had his honey in Japan. What's this all about?
Well, that's gonna come in a bit, right?
And then second, he's like, I've loved you, and I never told you my name, but I still loved you a lot, and we had plans. There's plans and there's love, but you don't know my name.
Well, it's like a 6-step process. He's in like step 2 where he's just actually thinking about them. He hasn't exactly pursued them yet. That's like going down past the halfway mark.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, I appreciate the love triangle, but this is definitely it's a hard needle to thread with some of the setup they've got going here. Hello, Comic Geek McD. Good early. I think it's morning now. Your time. It's early morning to you, sir. So thanks for spending a moment with us, man.
Nice.
Good morning. Good night. Good evening.
Yeah, Jackson. I've never heard that either, man. But hey, you know, it's amusing, like Logan language. You know, that makes me laugh. Logan is lying to himself. I think there's possibly an element to that, or at least trying to understand what he feels for Jean in the same way that Cyclops is dealing with his emotions as well.
Yeah.
But forget all of that because we're going to jump over to Storm swimming again. I love it. Get Storm to the bikini swimming again. We're all about it.
Justin, this wasn't your favorite panel?
I wrote to John. I said I like these panels and anything with Storm in it is what I wrote.
Right.
Anything with Storm, favorite panel.
I will say the bottom left panel right next to Brandon there, that angle trips me out. I struggle understanding the angle of it. Like, is she laying down? Because then the water seems like it's going a different direction than she is.
Wait. That's
Yeah. No, she's laying down. The stream is going up aside of her.
Yeah.
So down in a sense.
The water, yeah. And then of course the grass really bugs me because it's like that's the guy's shadow, right? On the grass.
Yeah, but it's funny because it looks like it's already an imprint. It looks like
a drag mark, like
right.
He's already pulled her away. It's really weird.
I don't know. Maybe he had a good pickup line and he was like dragging himself back, and all of a sudden he got
This is where he comes to grab his frails.
It is,
especially when there's Storm in a bikini, in the water.
Oh man, I do think it's a shadow, and I do think it's a really badly done shadow.
I think it's as much as I love looking at Storm here, I think that this is my least favorite panel, just as far as configuration. The angle doesn't work for me.
Well, I want to know what it looked like in the original like printing of it, because obviously this is like a colored up version.
I would take my copy out and open it, but Chet would have a riot in the chat.
Chet would have a heart attack.
He would have a heart attack. Yeah, he would go to the hospital, and it would not be good.
Yeah, I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to go wherever Chet is, and
we don't want to upset him in any way. My wife is showing me the definition of frail in Urban Dictionary is a woman used from the slang in the 1930s in Harlem.
Was Wolverine alive?
Little do we know Logan's Harlem roots.
Isn't he Canadian?
Wow.
So here, I'll blow myself up here. This is just for chat. I did not open my book, chat, but I can open my omnibus. So where are we at? Ugh.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at right now too.
Yep.
The angle just doesn't work for me. I think he was going for something fun and different, and I appreciate the effort. I just don't think it works as well for me. The water seems like it's coming up and off of the page, like that. It just seems like it's bent in some weird way.
I'm still trying to figure out the shadow.
And the shadow doesn't work for me all that well either.
Yeah.
Some of us are just still looking at Storm.
Jimmy from 125th Street. That's the comment of the night right there. I love it. He has been around a long time. He's picked up a ton of things.
It's true. Very
like
true.
That cowboy hat and the big buckle, Texas belt buckle. And, he went full cowboy not that long ago.
Yeah, that's true.
So then this mysterious person sneaks up on her and has been saying that they're in need of a life force, that they're running out of life force energy, and sees her, grabs her. But of course, the amount of energy that an Omega level mutant like Storm would give off is entirely too much than this person can manage. And he says, such power in her, I never dreamed, smashing into me like a tidal wave, can't stop it. Dear Lord, preserve me. I'm changing.
I love that one shot of Storm there. As she's
screaming,
like grabbing her head, like the detail in that, in her face and everything.
Right.
I think that's actually a pretty cool panel.
Yeah. Great negative space with the color, the yellow and black, and just
the shading. Yeah.
And then, of course, the reveal of what is going on. There's a giant lightning crack. Our mutant characters are like, what was that? What's going on? They all go running and then find Sauron, who has basically captured Storm and claimed her life force, and now he's going to try to kill all of them as well.
Attaboy.
That splash page at the end is wild. It is a great finish, just overall, and Storm.
Yeah.
Storm.
Welcome to the Savage Lands.
Yeah, exactly. Nothing says Savage Land like clubbing a woman over the head and grabbing her by the hair and dragging her off, right?
After she went swimming and no one else wanted her.
Right, absolutely.
What happened to the Savage Lane stays in the Savage Lane,
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yep. And with you, Roy Kirk.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I will also say I've never liked the name Sauron. It's way too Lord of the Ringsy for me. So I had to make a Gandalf joke. Where's Gandalf when you need him?
Yeah.
I just I've always been frustrated that they couldn't come up with an original name for this character. I do think the character is pretty cool, and I knew him. I first saw him in the New Mutants and some of the stuff that Liefeld was doing. So I didn't know he had really cool feet until I went back and watched some of these issues. But yeah, a really cool character that I just wish had a different name. I guess that's my only complaint.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, he's cool. He's cool. You don't see him a lot, so it's like his area. Definitely appreciate it.
Boom. Hey, Rod, thanks for sharing, brother. I appreciate it, man.
Rod is
sorry. I wanted to point out when did Cyclops change? Actually, even Wolverine, they all changed. Did I miss that or?
Yeah, they did not show us them getting into costume.
Huh. Interesting. That was quick.
Maybe probably like bamped and found them a new one. You never know.
Let me see if I can see those panels.
It's interesting, Brandon, when you pointed out before about John Byrne's drawing of the visor for Cyclops, and you're right, it really does stand out. Like it really is very well defined. I feel like anytime, at least, I mean, from what I'm noticing here, even just that this panel and the one in the beginning, it's actually really well done.
Right.
Sorry, TJ, I did not highlight your Shakespeare quote, frailty, thy name is woman.
TJ.
He always goes a little deeper. I appreciate it, my man.
Giving us that background, Shakespearean language. I love it.
So yeah, they do not explain how all of a sudden all their costumes are fixed. They did. Logan offhandedly mentions that he's going to skip the ladies and sew. And that's about all we hear from it. And then, of course, now they all come running, and Cyclops' costume looks all fixed and everything. Everybody's looking all. Yeah. Of course, one of the only panels I don't screen grab.
No more half naked. There we go.
Yeah, John, I like how we were just talking about screen grabs and stuff. You're like, I get almost all of them.
The Savage Land seamstress, right? You just drop it off and you get it back a little later. Now, I will say, they seem to imply that a lot of time has passed since coming to the Savage Lands, and then now they're in this village. They do imply that some time has passed. So it's totally possible that some repairs have occurred during that time.
Sure.
Maybe it was the lady that Banshee dinged.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, you got to pay them back. You got to pay for your work. Whatever. You got to put in the money.
Maybe he just did a great job. She was making up for it.
There you go. So yeah, that's the final villain reveal. I saw that Todd Christian says we need some Khazar coming up here. So yes, absolutely.
Heck yeah.
And I will say, I don't know a ton about the origins of Sauron, but I do know that obviously he's appeared in X-Men before this. And Chet's saying he was created in the 60s, but I don't know a ton about those early appearances. I don't know that I've read those ever before.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think the exact issue. I want to say 43 or 63.
Yeah, I didn't even write down his last issue before this. I just wrote here the return of Sauron outside of Mordor.
But Chet's our guru, so maybe he.
I'm sure Chet will tell us in the chat the first appearance of Sauron.
I was close to 63.
60. There you go. Boom. Claremont is actually stated that that's where it came from. A Savage Land seamstress actually did it. Okay, wow. You think they would put little stitching marks in stuff, like little patch, make a little patchwork.
Must have been one hell of a seamstress,
right? So yeah, obviously this is the first time it's officially called the Uncanny X-Men. Although when I read about that transfer, I realized apparently that Marvel didn't actually officially refer to the comic as the Uncanny X-Men until much later. They just had that as a little comment above the title. It was basically just called X-Men until issue 142, and then internally Marvel started calling it the Uncanny X-Men. I don't know how that works, but for me, this is obviously the issue when it's the Uncanny.
Yeah.
A 9/8 of this issue goes for $875. A 9/6 goes for $210. So you're talking about more than 4 times the value in that one jump in grade.
Wow.
So this is another issue in this early run by Claremont where we can see that a grade bump from a 9/6 to a 9/8 is a very high profit. And hey, that might mean if you've got an older slab, maybe take that out, press it, and clean it, and see what you can do.
That's a great point. I didn't realize that this one jumped. I mean, I feel like that's still pretty significantly high for a 9/8 for this area of books that we're in now. Because
Totally.
I feel like the last few, I mean, I know like 111 is like you can get for like $300 or something for a 9/8. And I like that book. I mean, I love that book, 111.
It was a great read.
So yeah, I mean, I guess a lot of it kind of plays into this whole title change, I think.
Right.
Too. Yeah, I think that definitely adds to it for sure.
Yeah.
But also the rarity, because there's only 84 9/8s. There's only 175 9/6s, and then you get into 9/4. There's over 200 9/4s. And almost 140 9/2s. So I think maybe it's a black cover and it's obviously the age of the book. There's just harder to get those super high grade copies.
Right. What's cool to me about this whole run is when you look at most keys, they're like, okay, first appearance of this one is what really drives the book. Is just that character standing alone. But for these issues, it's more like, okay, they're rare, they're expensive because of the story and what it actually holds as a whole. Right, like look at 112. It's a very popular issue, and it's more expensive than some first appearances.
Right.
It's technically not a key for like key collectors.
Yeah. Oh, and neither is the next issue after this, which I always loved as a great read as well. Right. So like, certain issues are dismissed because they don't have a first appearance or something like that. But the value is in the quality of the story for me, and so yeah, it's still 100%, definitely
100%. That's why we're here. It's because it's in the quality of the story, not saying, "Oh, we consider more prices for blah blah blah."
Yeah, I mean, I feel like all these early Cockrum and John Byrne issues have I've been keeping a close eye on them over the past year and a half or so now, or well, at least a year, and I've noticed them just either they hold their price, even raw copies are like $30 now. And they're just like going up. I mean, raw mid grade or whatever, So, I mean, I think a lot of it, as you guys are saying, it's just 100% towards the stories. And usually when people are buying these, they end up wanting to just buy the whole, bit.
Totally.
So,
yeah, I agree, Chet. If Disney calls one of their movies the Uncanny X-Men, then yeah, this book's gonna jump for sure.
You heard it first on this channel.
I have a cool little story about my copy of this, which I didn't take out. But
let's jump out of the info chat here. We always try to finish with this, and then we can go back to
sure.
There you go, little story.
I didn't pull it out because I won't open it because I know certain people are sensitive to that stuff. But I bought this on Instagram, and this was like 6 months ago or whatever. Got it for I think it was like $20 or something like that, and it's probably about an 80, 85. And I got it from the seller on it's like I said, someone on Instagram. I go to look at it and open it up. I always do this. I always look through my book the first time I get it, especially like a $20.
Well, you have to for the Marvel value stamp. You got to look for any kind of damage to pages being cut or torn. You have to at least inspect what you got.
Right, exactly. So as I'm going through it, I discovered that there's a Mark Jewelers insert on the inside. And I reached out to the guy about it, and he's like, "Huh, I never opened that thing." And I'm like, "Oh man, well, thanks." Like he was cool about it. He was just like, "Well, there you go, you got a Mark Jewelers insert." I'm like, it was my first one, so that book to me is extra. Something that just stands out to me because it was my first Mark Jewelers.
Can you see it when you look down at the top of the book? Can you?
Yeah, you can see the line.
Because I've skimmed through my issues of X-Men because I have the run now, and I thought, oh, maybe I'll have one.
Right.
I just went through and looked from the top, and I couldn't see any. But part of me wants to just like be certain.
See if I can find it here.
But it's also certain areas. For those that don't know, I'm wearing the Mark Jewelers shirt tonight. Mark Jeweler variants are basically just copies of these same books that have an advertisement inside in the very center fold of the book. It's a glossy, high-quality piece of paper selling jewelry. And these were usually found on army bases. They were sold as a separate bundle to army bases where they were hoping that the GIs would buy diamond rings for their honeys. And so a lot of times you'll find copies of these books in pockets where there are armed forces bases and things like that.
So I don't know if when I'm using my phone, but I don't think I can switch this around while I'm in StreamYard.
We're not going to open this up right now.
No. I'm not going to open it up. But
Chet is watching. I'm saying,
Justin, when Chet is not around.
No, I'm not going to open it. I have pictures of it because I took from before, but yeah, you can't even see it from that. That's just a terrible.
Yeah, I can't see it.
You can see it, like I can see it, but I mean, you'd have to really take time and look closely. If I was flipping through a box or something like that, you wouldn't just see it from far away.
Hilarious. Yeah. So certain books you might find more often having the inserts. I've never owned one, but my area of California, I'm not super close to any Army bases and any Navy bases. They're a little further away. So it's possible that those clusters are a little further south, but I don't know. I know certain people that are like, oh, I find them all the time. And it's just maybe where they are in that pocket.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, you can go hunting one of these days, go for a long drive. That'd be a good family trip, Oh my God.
I want to go looking at comic shops around Army bases. Let's go for a drive.
And then we'll go visit the bases, or if they're available to visit.
I mean, hey, or you could just get lucky and buy it on Instagram and have it be shown up at your house.
Anyways. I like this plan way better.
and while you're at it, get an X-Men 1 and an X-Men 12 and everything else.
This sounds. I see. We're on the same page. Wait. I love it. So we're going to wrap this episode up with our trivia, like we always like to finish with. We have 4 questions for you in the chat, and this is all towards winning some prizes when we do our giveaway near the end of reading the first omnibus. The way you win is by answering correctly either the first or the second time. Meaning, if Justin were to answer the question correctly first, Brandon could answer second, and they could both earn points in the overall tally. Also, whoever answers with the funniest comedic answer also earns a point on the overall. However, only the first correct answer, that first person gets 2 points, and they get a ticket in the raffle to win the second omnibus.
Yep.
So there we go.
That's the deal.
I got the overall standings here right now. We still have Magic Lasso in first. I got Issues in second. Chet in third. And Jackson, Roy Kirk, and Beta Ray Jim right there, tied basically for fourth.
Dang, I'm going to catch up. Don't worry. After I'm going to catch up.
It's incredible that Chris, I Got Issues, is still up in the top 3 right now.
He really ran the table for a few weeks there, and then he's sitting pretty on his wins.
I'm gonna come back in the last issue and be like, "What I miss?"
Just wait till he comes back. Yeah, I was gonna say it's crazy.
Did you want to go first or second? What do you want to do?
I'll kick it off.
Go ahead.
All right. So first question is, which 2 characters worked together last issue to take Magneto's helmet off, to steal his helmet? There were 2 characters specifically that worked together, and in their combination of tricks, they were able to remove Magneto's helmet. And I don't really have a good view of the chat, so John, you'll have to keep an eye on it.
Yes, sir, I will. Oop.
Looking for two names here. 2 names, 2 characters.
Because I got to get into my own chat here, so let's see how we do.
Oh, I found the chat button. Never mind. Here we go.
All right. Bo Rinkin's like, I'm just going to go for a funny answer because I don't know anything about the X-Men.
I mean, just do different combinations.
I see one correct answer.
Yeah. Yep.
Sorry.
Hidden gem.
Yeah. Hidden gem. I will give you the comedy point for John's two daughters was his answer.
Nice one, hidden gem. Nice one.
Dynamic duo.
Okay, I see a couple now. Putting
it twice now. Okay, I thought it was this one.
I saw Lasso first.
No,
and Lasso was first, right?
no. Chet was right.
Oh,
it's Beast. Beast and
no, he's the best. He's the best.
Well, he wrote best, but
I'll give it to him.
Yeah, and then Roy Kirk.
I thought it was Colossus and Nightcrawler, but it's Beast and Kurt. Okay.
That's what I loved about the question, because I'm like, oh, everyone's going to go Colossus.
There you go. So Chet gets the raffle ticket and the 2 points. And then who was the second place was Jackson Roy Kirk.
Yeah.
And then I gave Hidden Gems the comedy point on that one. So there we go.
Nice.
There's some other funny answers going on there. No, yeah, we'll excuse your spelling. We'll excuse the spelling. Don't worry.
I got you, Chet.
As long as we can understand what you're saying, that's all good. My first question is, yet again, vacationing Xavier occurred in this run. What country was Xavier vacationing in? What country did we find Xavier taking a little break with his cosmic cutie?
Oh, I like that. Cosmic cutie.
I like that.
If I start a band, John, that's going to be the name of the band.
I love some good alliteration. And we got Chet again with Magic Lasso right behind. I'm surprised because I didn't remember that. I had to go back and check on that one.
I forgot it too when you mentioned it the first time around.
And Lasso getting the bonus point. So that's another raffle ticket for Chet for tonight. Let's hear some comedy answers. Where did he go? Muir Island.
Muir Island.
Pretty solid. Ren and Stimpy. Yeah, a little late on that one. Oh, you're bidding on a book. Hey, good luck. The country of Snuggle.
Yeah, it's a little dry.
Krakoa. Disneyland. Old Wolf. Old Wolf.
Now they're in Disneyland.
Definitely going with Disneyland on that point. There you go, Old Wolf. Latveria staycation. Hey, you gotta be safe right now. All right, what's your second question, Justin?
All right, second question is name just one of the two, or at least I think there were two. Name one country. Yeah, name one country that Magneto was essentially destroying at the beginning of the issue when he was first going off and about while the team was all being taken care of. The nanny, he was out misbehaving. And what were the countries that he went after right off the bat? At least one. Just name one country.
All that newsreel footage of Magneto tearing apart the world.
Yeah. Love when he took out the camera. That was a great scene.
Lasso got in ahead of Chet this time.
There it is.
Lasso with the 2 points and the raffle ticket. Chet with the bonus point. He's getting close to issues now. That's what we want. Nice. We also would have accepted New Zealand as a correct answer. Yeah. But now we're waiting for some comedy answers, and I will get my question ready because I got one more here. Legoland, Old Wolf.
Tony.
I don't know how to make this funny, says Jim. I get you. I've been there. We're not trying to come up with comedy questions here. It's your job to do that.
Wine country.
Okay. My question is, and I think it's this is the last question. My question is, before fleeing this destroyed volcano base, what's the last thing Magneto does? Before this base collapses around them in a pile of magma and twisted metal, what is the last thing that Magneto does just like a boss?
I expect some funny ones to be answered here.
What's the last thing he does? Storm is destroying Puerto Rico. There you go. He roasts marshmallows. See? You got that one.
Guys got to eat,
Right? I mean, you got the natural heat around you. All you needed was the mallow.
Yeah.
I got the point. I think I got the point in there.
One person is correct. We're just waiting on one more correct answer. Oops, somebody's texting me. Who's texting me? Oh, that's sorry, that's eBay. I better ignore
it. Don't look, John.
Hey, you don't want to look good.
I'm trying to outbid TJ on that book. Let's see. Chet is going to get the 2 points. So Chet, you are almost exactly on top of I Got Issues. You're like 4 points off of Issues, and you got another raffle ticket. Second answer goes to Lasso. Yeah, he got his helmet back.
Nice.
You got to get that helmet, man. It's all about the helmet.
Yep.
Sets the alarms and locks the doors. Very funny. He monologues. Hey, it wouldn't be the first time. It really wouldn't be the first time. But we're going to go with roasting the marshmallows, hidden gem, giving you another comedy point, and that wraps her up for tonight.
Nice.
Remember, I put the link to Justin's channel down below every time, so you should definitely be a fan of both channels and be connected over, because next week, for issue 115, we are on the KnowGood Comics channel, and Brandon's going to be back to do more Savage Lands. We're going to get Savage in here.
Nice.
Sure.
Nice.
Growing the Savage beard out for it.
Yeah.
Next episode, Brandon's just gonna have this really big beard.
I'm expecting the Wolverine, like the mutton chops coming out.
I was going for more of like a Hagrid look from Harry Potter.
There you go. I feel it. So, Brandon, you got anything coming up you want to let people know about?
Well, other than Tag Team Thursday, what am I doing tomorrow? I don't think I'm doing anything tomorrow. Thursday, I'm also doing a House of M review with my boy Peter. We're gonna be talking with WandaVision going on. No More Mutants. It's gonna be a lot of fun. So definitely join that discussion if you're fresh in the book. If not, if you want to listen along, it's going to be, I believe, 8 or 9 Eastern. And then I'm bringing back Creator's Corner onto YouTube. I have a huge guest that I'm this close, and he was one of the co-creators of Image Comics. So I'm super excited. I can't announce it yet, and it's not Rob Liefeld, but it's someone cooler than Rob Liefeld.
Nice.
One of the characters in John Slabs. That's all I can say. But I'm really excited about that, and I'm just be putting content on YouTube, so getting used to that transition. So
awesome.
Definitely sub up. And then Hall of Fame or Hall of Shame is a series I do every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern time. Episode 2 was a lot of fun. Giants X-Men, talking about it earlier. Episode 3, the voting is on my Instagram, so you can go comment which issue you want to see. We're gonna do a DC issue. I'm not a fan of it, but we gotta make it diverse. So it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, spread the wealth a little bit for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah, as Brandon mentioned, Brandon's joining Tag Team Thursday this week. So if you're a follower of Tag Team Thursday jumping around, you're gonna see a new live stream from Brandon this Thursday.
Nice.
I don't know what I'm doing for you, but it's gonna be funny.
All right, Joe, what do you got coming up?
Yeah, same thing. Tag Team Thursday will be closing out, being the closer of the crew. Loving the whole Tag Team Thursday. If you guys are new to that, definitely swing by. It starts over on Rod's channel at 6:30, and then from there you'll just be directed. So between John and Tony and now we have Dan as well that's been joining us. So it's a great crew, and obviously Brandon's going to be tied into it now for this week, which is going to be I'm looking forward to it. So that's Thursday, and then Saturday I have my Comic Collector Origins, which I do every Saturday. It's 2:00 Eastern time. Last week I had my dad on as my guest.
So good. It was so good.
Oh man, I had a blast, and thank everybody that was there. I know a lot of you that are in the chat now. I saw you either there or you caught the replay. I appreciate the support for that. But this week I have Steve, Hip Hops, and me from Team Nerd Herd podcast. Those guys have been doing a lot of things lately over on YouTube and on Instagram, and they're just a great crew. So I'm excited to have Steve on for this Saturday, and then and then we'll just kind of wrap it up for the week.
Perfect.
Awesome. I'm really enjoying your impromptu lives, Justin. They're a lot of fun.
I appreciate that. Thanks. I do those. I do those Sundays. Sundays I'll do a random live. Yeah.
They're fun.
Let's see. For me, I got book club on my channel this week, Wednesday. So tomorrow we're going to be talking about some of the new books that came out. There's a really cool Aftershock book that I'm excited about, issue number 1. And then, of course, Last Ronin, issue 2 is dropping. So those TMNT fans will probably get into that a little bit. And then there was a Scout comic, issue number 1. If you want to know which ones, check out the pull list because I break them down right there and let you know what we're going to be doing for book club. We'll be doing new Comic Book Day book club on my channel tomorrow. Then I've got, like these guys are saying, Tag Team Thursday. I'll drop the next pull list, looking ahead at next week and what I'm getting. Thursday, I'm on JP's channel. We're talking Fables. We're on volumes 8 and 9. We've been working through Fables with, we got the Unruly Simeon, and we got Sharon and Rena from Life with Two YouTubers. So we're going to have a full panel breaking down these great trades.
Nice.
And then I don't think I've got anything Friday. Thank goodness. A little breaky. And then Saturday night, we're back to talking movies with the Bearded Comic Bro. We're going to be talking about the greatest non-Marvel and DC comic book movies. We're going to break down our all-time favorite non-Marvel, non-DC comic book movies. So good. Should be some fun drinks and movies shenanigans on Saturday night.
That sounds like fun. Hey, I wanted to mention too, guys, John just had Comigories this past Monday, last night. It was so much fun. It's always a fun show, and you guys the panel was great. I like that you guys did like a tag team type thing, teams, and they had to coordinate with each other, and that in itself was hilarious.
A couple of those guys are not talking to me anymore.
I got
It's hysterical.
It was crazy. It was a wacky fun. It was like 2 hours and 15 minutes long too. We went the full bore with those gentlemen.
You did, and I was able to stick through a lot of that. I was jumping in, so it was cool, and the whole voting system you guys got. So if you guys are new to that, if anyone hasn't ever seen that before, go watch the replay and catch the next one when it comes up, because it is a lot of fun and a lot of people.
Thanks, Hidden Gem. I appreciate it, man. And James, I'm sorry I didn't shout you out. I saw you jump in a little bit earlier. Thanks for coming by, brother. But yes, you can catch the replay for sure. And yeah, sub everybody up, and we will see you back next Tuesday on Justin's channel.
More X-Men.
Sounds good.
More X-Men.